Let's talk about procrastination. What if I told you the secret to getting things done isn't about having more willpower, but about finding the right kind of fuel? Well, in the next few minutes, we're going to explore a powerful framework to help you do exactly that. So, does this look familiar? You've got that big project just looming over you. You feel completely swamped, and there's this weird mix of fear and exhaustion that just stops you from even starting. Trust me, it's a feeling we all know. But what if the answer wasn't just to try harder? Okay, here's the big idea. The one thing I really want you to get. Procrastination isn't some kind of character flaw. It's not about being lazy. It's actually a signal. It's your brain telling you that what you're trying to do just isn't lined up with what actually drives you. It's kind of like trying to run a high-performance race car on cheap, watered-down gas. It's just not going to work. And that brings us right to our first section, figuring out your motivation fuel. See, if you want to find that unstoppable energy to take action, you have to connect with your why, your deep, profound motivation. That's where all the real power is hiding. And look, this isn't just some feel-good theory. This is backed by some serious science. It's called self-determination theory, and it basically explains that the most powerful, the most sustainable kind of motivation, it always comes from inside you, not from some external carrot or stick. So when we talk about motivation, it's not just a simple on or off switch. It's actually a whole spectrum. It goes all the way from amotivation, where you have zero drive, through things like guilt or chasing a reward, all the way to the most powerful form, intrinsic motivation. That's when you do something just for the love of it. That's the premium fuel we're looking for. Let's just put these two side by side so you can really see the difference. On one hand, you have extrinsic motivation, working just for the paycheck or to avoid getting in trouble. Sure, it might get you going for a little while, but it is a guaranteed recipe for burnout. But then you've got intrinsic motivation, doing something that lights you up, that aligns with your core values, that creates this self-renewing source of energy. And tapping into that is the real game changer. So the big question is, how do we find that intrinsic fuel? Well, there's an incredibly powerful exercise for this called the 30-second legacy. It's a simple thought experiment, but it's designed to give you just radical clarity on what actually matters to you. All right, I want you to really go there with me for a second. Imagine you're at the very end of your life. You have just 30 seconds left to speak. What is the one single core message you'd want to leave behind for the people you love? So here's how you do it. Just close your eyes for a moment and picture the 5 people who matter most to you in the entire world. Really see their faces. Now, think about your final words to them. What would you say? That message, that feeling right there, that's it. That is the heart of your core mission. That is your why. When one person went through this exercise, this was the message that came up for them. So simple, right? But so incredibly powerful. A message like this isn't just a bunch of words. It's a compass. It's the kind of thing that cuts through all the daily noise and helps you lock in on what's truly important. Okay, so you've connected with that deep sense of mission. Now what? How do you actually turn that big, beautiful vision into something you do every single day? Well, that's where the genius of Focus Cycle comes into play. It's a simple, repeatable system that connects your grand vision to your daily to-do list. And honestly, the cycle itself is so simple, it's almost deceptive. First, you define your mission, which, hey, we just worked on that. Second, based on that mission, you pick one clear focus project to work on. And third, you just take small, consistent actions every single day to push that project forward. That's it. This creates this amazing virtuous cycle where your actions build on each other and you feel totally aligned. All right, we're at the final piece of the puzzle. How do you decide what to do each day? For this, we're going to use a classic analogy that, I promise you, will completely change how you plan your day. I want you to imagine that your day is an empty glass jar. All the little urgent things, the emails, the notifications, the small requests, that's all sand. Your most important goals, the things that are truly aligned with your mission, those are big rocks. Now, if you fill the jar with all the sand first, guess what? The big rocks will never ever fit. But if you put your big rocks in first, the sand just fills in all the empty space around them. So, I'm going to ask you right now, when you look at the week ahead, what are your big rocks? What are those handful of things that will actually move your focus project forward? Because if you don't name them, I guarantee the sand is just going to take over your entire day.
And the secret here is to keep it super simple. Just focus on 3. What are the 3 big rocks that will make the biggest impact this week? Figure those out and do them first, every single day. Once your most important work is done, you'll be amazed how all the little things, the sand and pebbles of life, just fall into place around them.
And that's really how you build something amazing over time, by focusing on your big rocks day in and day out. I love this quote from Bill Gates because it's such a powerful reminder that small, consistent, focused actions add up to incredible momentum. You're capable of so much more than you think. You just have to focus on the right things.
So really, the big takeaway is this. Beating procrastination isn't about using brute force. It's all about alignment. When you connect with your why and prioritize your big rocks, focus just becomes the natural result. If this whole idea resonates with you and you want to go a little deeper, be sure to check the description. We've got a special gift waiting for you there. Thanks so much for tuning in. Before you go, just ask yourself this. What if those tasks you keep avoiding aren't a sign of your weakness, but are actually a signal that your real big rocks are just waiting for you to give them your attention?